Ayy, Brewski, I'm in my zone like a 2-3. Would sue me, urban gorilla, no Gucci. Yeah, the scriptures I be kicking like Bruce Lee. Check my precepts, raw than sushi. Summertime, so I stay in the cool B. On the corner throwing bumps like I'm Drew Brees. Yeah, tap out for your how we bringing them gas out. Cut a heathen cause he running his fat mouth. Off the dribble, I be ballin' like.
The book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
Right? I see my people out here, man. We pack these churches, right? We know something is wrong with this place. We know something's wrong with our life, right? So we try to seek God, and we go to these churches, right? Because we have a zeal for them, right? But there's a problem in these churches, man. They don't tell us what's going on.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision.
Right? So you got a bunch of ruly and vain talkers in these churches, right? Keep on at 11. Right? You got ruly and vain talkers, man. They tell you a bunch of nonsense.
Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, but filthy lucre's sake. For filthy lucre's sake.
Right? So they give you all this feel-good Kool-Aid, right? All this prosperity preaching. You know, you give $1, you get 20. You give 20, you get 40. Right? God's gonna make a way. God's gonna do this. God's gonna do that. All you gotta do is love. Preach Jesus. You know, believe in Jesus. They don't tell you anything that they're not telling you what you have to do to receive God in your life. Right? They're not doing anything like that. You go in, the pastor will read a scripture, you sing and dance for about a few hours, and then you go home with a good feeling in you. Right? Right? And then eat pork and you continue to sin. Right? You sing, you dance, you feel good. It feels good to go to church, right? But they're not telling you anything.
You get Jeremiah 5:31.
Got it?
Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee.
Right? Your pastors, man, your fathers, these preachers have seen vain and poor things for you, man. They've seen stupid things. None of these things are going to help you out in life.
And they have not discovered thine iniquity.
Right? The main point is they haven't showed you your sin. They haven't told you what you're doing wrong. Right? All this feel-good Kool-Aid is just to keep you happy, just to keep you coming back. Right? So you give them more money. Pastor Collection played around a few times. I'm in the spirit 2-3 times. Right? It's feel-good Kool-Aid. It's not beneficial to you.
Go ahead.
To turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment.
Right? So we've been telling people up here that the reason blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are in this captivity, the reason we're in this situation in America is because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We are continuously sinning, right? So when you go to these churches, they give you this feel-good Kool-Aid. They're not pointing out your sins. They're not correcting your behavior, and they're furthering our affliction. They're continuing to keep us here in this situation, right? They're not helping our cause as a people.
We get Proverbs 27:5. Got that?
This is Jeremiah. Is it working? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 31. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Let me ask you something. You believe in the Bible? Yeah, you believe in God? You go to church? You Christian? What do they teach you in church?
They teach me a whole bunch of stuff, but mainly it's like stuff that you can feel, like it's like things are okay, like the stuff that you've done.
Things are okay? You get that feel? So they tell you everything's okay, right?
I mean, not that it's okay, but you know what I'm saying, like it's gonna be okay. You don't gotta worry about your past, you don't gotta worry about your sins, because that's all the devil wants to do is bring that up. But God said that you're forgiven, you know?
You still holding that in limitation? Yeah. Bring this, check this out, brother.
book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee.
Right? So your preacher, man, when he's telling you vain and foolish things, right? You want to know why he's giving you? This is why he's giving you vain and foolish things, right?
And they have not discovered thy iniquity.
Right? So he's not telling you what your sins are.
No, but people know what their sins are. It don't matter what your sins
What,
are.
do you know, it does matter. Do you know what a sin is?
No, I don't know what a sin
You
is.
don't know what a sin is.
No, I don't.
That's the problem. Right?
Are you serious?
Well, I mean, how can you stop sinning if you don't know what a sin is?
Come on, man. A sin is anything you know that's not right.
That's not true. Because they got some people who feel good about robbing you, right?
It's a million sins. You got lust, you got
Yeah.
Lust isn't a sin, brother.
lust is a sin.
Lust isn't a sin.
Of the flesh
Lust.
is sin.
Hold on, wait. Are you married? Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Do you lust after your wife?
You can't lust after your wife.
Do you lust? Do you lust? You can't. What do you mean you can't lust after your wife? Hold on. What do you
Y'all are
mean?
as one. How you gonna
How
lust?
do you don't love your wife?
Hold on, you and your wife are as one.
So
How can you
that-
lust off of somebody that are?
That's not true. You can lust after your wife.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. When you know what the word lust means? Do you know what the word lust means? You know what the word lust
Lusting
means?
after your wife is all right, but lusting after another woman is probably not all right.
So he said. So wait. So he just said lusting after your wife is all right.
Hold on. First it turned to vanity, then after vanity turns into.
Hold on. Wait. This brother just said lusting after your wife is okay. You saying lust period is wrong.
No, I didn't say lust.
You did say that.
I said of somebody that doesn't belong to you. When you get a ring on when you put the ring on a woman's finger, you are as one.
That's not what you said, brother.
Oh shit! Hey, I gotta go, y'all.
You misunderstood me. What I'm saying is the bond between man and woman over God. You know what I'm saying? Because God is he's over the marriage. He made the format of marriage. So the whole thing is now when you are together, you can't lust off of that. That's impossible.
So,
You
let me
can't
ask you
corrupt the
something.
bedroom.
Let me
The
ask you
bedroom
something.
cannot be defiled.
Let me ask you something. What's lust?
Lust is overlooking at a woman, body, a man,
What's the definition of
anybody.
lust? What's the definition of lust?
Just looking at her.
No. What's the
sexually-
definition of it?
Sexually
What does lust mean, sir? What does it mean?
I'm explaining. Sexually gratifying yourself
No.
with the eyes
No.
at her.
No.
That's lust.
No.
You
What
tell
does
me-
lust mean?
You tell me what lust is.
It just means a desire.
Yeah,
I desire something.
Desire is
I can
not lust.
desire a
brother,
pizza.
brother.
I can be
ridiculous.
desiring her over there.
It's not only
If I
tied to
think-
it's not only tied to anything sexual. That's the
What
point.
is the sin though? If you think of the
No,
woman
I can desire to get
sexually,
a burger
if I
from
wanna
In-N-Out
have-
later on.
if
I got In-N-Out on my mind all day. I need a burger that bad.
If I just
I'm
look
lusting.
at her,
I desire a
if
burger.
I just looked at
That's
her
what I'm
and
telling you.
I sat there and I looked eye to
No,
eye
you're
and
trying
I
to
didn't think of
single
her
out one.
sexually,
You're trying to single out one thing. That's not true.
you gotta
Do you
hear me.
desire to have sex with your wife whenever you want?
If you do not think of her
Sir,
sexually, it's
sir,
not a
do you
sin.
desire to have
It's
sex with your
impossible.
woman?
It's impossible.
Do you
to
desire to
be a
have
sin.
sex with your woman?
Exactly.
That's what lust is.
Yes.
So you're lusting after your wife.
Now,
It's not a sin.
like you said, if we're just eating a sandwich, right?
Listen.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying, if
Listen.
we just eating a
Listen.
sandwich and I do not think of her sexually, that can't be
brother,
lust.
you don't get it.
It's impossible.
You're not grasping what we're saying.
Okay.
Lust simply means a desire. I can desire to eat a hamburger. I can desire to go swimming. I can desire to go on vacation. That's a lust in a sense.
I got it
It's
right
not.
here.
It has nothing to do with sexuality.
Right here, look.
You understand? Get that.
This is the definition of lust. Usually intense or unbridled sexual desire.
Sexual desire.
Also, an intense longing or craving,
An intense longing or craving. I can crave
enthusiasm
food.
Yes.
or eagerness.
Eagerness.
Sexual craving, like you just
Doesn't
said.
have to
No,
do
it says
No.
usually.
Usually.
And listen, it says usually.
This is just usually. But watch this. It says, watch this.
Because that can turn into
Bro,
Look, bro.
Stop.
Look, you're talking, but you don't want to listen. Just listen for a quick second. Look, it says usually an intense or unbridled sexual desire. That's usually. Number two, an intense longing, enthusiasm, or eagerness, or pleasure, or desire, or delight, or a personal inclination or wish.
Right? So you desire to eat that orange, right? You just like my brother was talking about. He's been desiring a burger all day, an intense
I'm
desire.
eager to eat this orange in my hand.
Hey,
I bought it about an hour
yeah.
ago. I want to peel it and eat
Right.
it
Right.
taste
You know,
impressions of it.
You've been at school all day, right? You know your mom's cooking your favorite thing, and you've been looking forward to it all day. You lusting after that food. It ain't got nothing to do. It's not necessarily about sex.
He read it, so that's a form of lust.
Yeah, it's a form of lust.
So it's not all sin, though, right? That's the point.
So it
It's
can't
not
be
all
sin.
sin. That's the point we're making,
Right.
brother.
But
As soon
I'm
as we
just
say
saying,
lust, you try to attribute it to sex. That's
if
not
you
it.
have, if you have the Lord coming after you, He's not going to really come after you for the small things. He's going to come after you
Excuse me?
What
for
you
the
mean?
big things.
You gonna
Not
come after you?
you know what I'm saying?
Did you, hey, brother, did you get that? Somebody, could you get that in Isaiah?
Like you said, if I'm desiring a burger, He's not going to come after me for the desire of this sandwich.
You know, eating pork is a sin,
Yes, it is.
right? So he's gonna kill people for
If
eating
you go,
pork.
if you go to Leviticus chapter 11, it's
Right.
talking about all the sins
So
of
do
the
you
food.
think eating pork is a small sin or a big sin?
Big sin.
It's a big sin. Why do you say that?
Because in when you go to what is it, Deuteronomy, I think 66 or something, or Jeremiah 66, 16, he's talking about the flesh of a pig is dirty. So he said, the pig shall be destroyed with
They talk about this shit
when you put that pig in your vein, the pig is already gonna get destroyed because it's an abomination. So when it's in your vein, you're gonna get destroyed with the pig.
Pig was made for a
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Outcome as the pig.
That's not true.
Here, let me read it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 11. That ye may.
No, 17.
No, 66 verse. He got it right.
Oh, yeah,
You got it right.
You go like 16 to 17.
yeah. Yeah, 6, 7. This is the book of. It's Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
If it's in your vein, you're gonna die. You dying just like the pig. Whatever, if you grow up and you got pig in your vein, the Lord will destroy you just like He was gonna destroy that pig.
So let me ask you something. What's the difference? What's the difference? What'd you say? Well, okay, you said a big, and you said the big and the small, right? How can you tell what's a small sin and a big sin?
Now, vanity is a small sin. If I'm just looking, like when we just passed by, I didn't think of her like, oh, I wanna
What's
stick
vanity?
it in.
What's vanity?
Stick it in. That's. Now, if
What
I
is
just
vanity,
look,
sir?
vanity is just looking at the figure
Oh,
of anything.
oh,
If
oh.
this could be vanity.
That's
If
not
I look
what
at
it
this
means.
camera, this Canon camera,
Sir.
hold on. Let me
That's
finish.
not what it means, sir.
You correct me if I'm wrong.
You've been wrong since you started talking.
I had. It's been a few points I said right.
But-
Now, this camera right here is a Canon. I might desire to have a model like that, right?
But
Brother,
that's
not vanity.
That's not vanity.
No, it's not.
I desire this camera.
That's not vanity, though.
Now,
brother.
Pull up the
hold on, this
vanity.
woman.
Later.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This woman over here. If I look at her, I'm desiring her. If that's,
No,
that's
no.
vanity. But if I
No,
want to
it's
have
not.
sex, that turns into a lustful thought.
That's not what vanity means.
Now you show me what.
We'll show you in the Bible.
Yeah, man. Words have meaning, brother.
I'm here to be correct. I might be wrong.
All praises. Hey, man. As long as you're willing to take it, man.
I'm looking for the work.
As long as you're willing to take it. That's as long, as long as you can accept it.
I ain't gonna go past the word. I've been studying for a while. I'm not absolute in everything, you know what I'm saying? But I might not be perfect, you know what I'm saying? I do my own, you know what I'm saying, sins. I have sins.
Well, why do you sin when you know God don't like it?
I mean, I'm on earth. I make mistakes.
Hey, man. You
I'm
loving
in
that?
the belly of the beast, and I mean,
Hey, man. So are we, man.
I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I need help from. That's why I came over here.
All praises.
Young brothers that know the word
got it.
shall guide each other to the right.
Read that.
This is Strong's H7723. emptiness, vanity, falsehood.
Right? Empty falsehood, right? Vanity. That's what it is. To be vain, man. It means you don't care about it. It's like people, when you see people like fawning over themselves in the mirror and stuff like that, being enamored by their own reflection, man. That's vain. It's emptiness, right? It's not bringing you anything. It's not doing anything for you. It's emptiness.
Those AI images.
That's it. Yeah, man. So it's not doing anything for you. That's what being vain is. That's what vanity is, right? You want that camera? That's not vanity.
That's a format of vanity.
But it's not. It's not a form of vanity.
It is a format.
No,
What would you call it?
I would call that you coveting his stuff. You wanting it. You like desiring it.
Covet is to have,
To want it. To lust after it.
No, covet means you possess something.
No, that means you know.
Look up covet.
It says not to covet. It says not to covet thy neighbor's wife.
Covet. If I covet somebody, that means I had.
So
them.
how do you?
Covet? I can't have. If I never had that camera in my hand, I can't covet.
So how do I covet my
That's not
neighbor?
true.
How can I?
How can I covet somebody I never had?
So if she's not my wife, how can I covet her?
If she's not your wife, you can't covet her.
But it tells us not to do it.
When you go into that woman's apartment with her, now you have coveted.
No.
Yes.
No, that's
Look that up, bro. Look up the
You're just making
definition.
up stuff. That's
No, I'm
crazy.
not. Look up the definition of
We
covet.
will. And I'm gonna prove you wrong again. You know what you're
Look
talking
up the definition. How? That's like if you know
Pull
what
up-
covet means.
Go to Exodus 20 and pull up the
It
verse
means
first,
to
and
have
then go to that
something
verse.
in your
No,
possession.
man. It just means to want
You
something
tell me
that's
what
not
it means
no,
without looking.
it
Before
means,
he reads,
it
tell
means,
me what
it means to want something that doesn't belong to you.
wanting.
Yeah,
Not
that doesn't
wanting.
belong to you.
Covet means to possess. You have had something.
Brother.
If I coveted that umbrella he had, how can I covet something I ain't had?
Because it's not yours. That's how you
That
covet
doesn't
it.
even make sense.
Because it's not yours. That's how you covet it.
Yeah, if
Oh,
it's
okay,
not
yeah.
yours, you must
No, just read it
control.
first and
You
then
must
go
have
ahead.
it. How can
Yeah,
I
read the verse. He's saying we can't covet unless we already have it.
You got it?
have to have it in your hand to covet it?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
So it's not your house. So how do you covet it? How do you covet your neighbor's house?
That building is my neighbor's house. How can I covet it if I never had it? I
That's
never
the
been on
point.
the inside of it.
That's the point. It's not yours. That's why you
Yes,
covet it. Because you
must
want
go
it.
into the dwelling
Oh my
to
goodness.
be able to covet.
Is that it? Is there still more
How
on
can
it?
you covet something you ain't
Yeah.
even in?
Keep reading that.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Right? Anything that is your neighbor's, do not covet it.
Look up the definition of covet.
He's gonna pull it up right now. So if anything that belongs to you, I can't covet.
Exactly. You are absolutely right.
So how is it? Wait. So if I don't own it initially, so how can I covet it if I never owned it?
Because the definition of covet means to be inside of the dwelling,
Brother,
to
no.
possess.
It tells me I can't want anything that you want.
Read that right
Yeah.
You got it?
This is Strong's H2530. To desire, covet, take pleasure in, delight in.
To desire. To desire.
there. To really have
To
pleasure
desire.
in.
Yeah.
You said take pleasure
To
in.
desire it. Yes, to desire it.
That chain you have on, you are taking pleasure in it.
I'm not taking pleasure.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
How can you not? To look at it, how can I take pleasure in it? I must leave from that area. I don't have it no more.
Brother, what
walk.
are you talking about?
Come on.
What are you talking about?
To possess something that is a format of pleasure, a sandwich
No,
like you
okay,
said. You
but
want to
check
eat
this
a
out.
sandwich.
Check this out.
How can I look
Check
at the
this out.
sandwich and have
Before
pleasure? I
I
never
bought
touched the
this,
sandwich.
I seen it,
Yeah.
I
saw it.
coveted it, so I paid for it and bought it.
You didn't covet it.
I
until
did, that's
you
why I
had
got it.
Until you possess it.
No. So
How can you covet
So
something
okay,
you ain't
okay.
never had?
Wait. So that means I'm stealing from you. I have to steal from you.
The actual format of covet means it's in your palm.
No, that's not what
If I
it means.
put some
Can you
weed
show
in
me
your
that?
hand-
Can you show me that? Can you show me that?
My phone dead right now.
Oh yeah, I mean I bet. So you can't show me that it means that's what it means.
I've been reading for a while, so that's
We
my
just read the
interpretation.
definition,
sir. Yeah.
That's my interpretation of covet.
But it's not about what your interpretation is. It doesn't matter what your
I
interpretation
understand
is.
what you're saying, but that is a part of the interpretation.
No.
You just gotta do a little bit more
brother,
reading.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because if you're saying that I have to physically have it in my hand, right? So if I covet your hair, what does that mean?
How could you covet my hair? You never touched it.
That means I like how it looks. I like how it looks. I desire it to be mine.
I'm standing
To be
right
mine.
here, covet my hair. You
Yeah.
have done nothing. You must do something.
No, you don't.
The actual word
I
is
just
covet.
I want your hair. That's all it is.
You want it.
Yes. That's coveting.
How could you covet it?
Because I want it.
Okay, look. You said the neighbor's wife. You must hold on, wait a minute. Give me 1 second. You just said in the Bible, if you covet your neighbor's wife, you surely put to death. If I never
I didn't
touched
say
her,
that. I didn't
if
say
I
that.
never touched her, how did I covet her?
Because you wanted her. You lusted
So
after
they
her.
gonna kill me because I wanted her? Because I looked at her? Hell nah. They gonna kill you because you
got
went
it?
in and touched her.
Book of Matthew says, covet. Book of Matthew.
Sir, you gotta slow
I
down.
look
Slow
at her
down,
and
sir.
get killed.
Book of Matthew.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife.
Right? Don't
And
desire
go further.
your neighbor's wife.
Go further.
No covet.
Neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house.
Right? So you don't desire his wife. You don't covet his house.
Where is she located? In the house.
What?
If I never went in the house, how
I
did
got you. I got
touch
you
her?
after this
never
one. I got you
touched
after
her. You can't. What is the sin involved in the not touching?
Is that it?
How can I have?
Well, I mean, keep going.
How can I covet?
Bro,
if I've never
listen,
touched
bro.
her one
Listen.
time?
Hold
If
down.
I ain't even put my dick in her, how did I covet?
Sir, what are you talking about? What does Christ say about that? If you think about a woman and lust in your mind, you already sinned, right or wrong?
Yes.
What's that have to do with
Cannot
touching
be
her
put
then?
to death
Why would you?
For
Sir,
assault.
you're not listening. Can you get put to death for your thoughts?
No.
Give me James. Where you at?
A thought.
Oh, keep reading this stuff.
This is Deuteronomy 5 and 21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife.
Uh-huh.
Neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house.
Yeah, if you covet it, you don't have it, you're looking at it, you're observing it, you desire it. Hey, man, I wish that was mine.
But desire is not covet. It's not the same thing.
Yes, it is. We just read the definition.
Desire and
Covet means to desire. We just read it.
Covet.
Why aren't you, what don't you get right now? What aren't you grasping? What's your name?
My name is Bro.
What's that?
Bro. Covet.
It's self-explanatory. Are you high?
Yeah, man.
It all makes sense, read.
How can covet and desire be
His
the same
field,
thing?
We just read the definition, the biblical definition. We just read it.
That's two different things.
No, it's not.
Covet and desire is not, you saying that's the same thing?
Lust means to desire too,
Covet
right?
and desire
Does
mean
lust
the
mean
same
desire?
thing. I'm just saying.
Does lust mean desire?
Lust.
Does lust mean desire? And that's what covet means. It's the same.
Those two are the same. But coveting and desiring is that's
Brother,
a whole
brother,
that's a
brother.
whole ballpark that's
Brother,
separate.
we just read the definition to you. We're not going off your made-up definition. We read the biblical
I
definition.
understand.
Let's keep reading. It's going to explain itself in the verse. Keep
I'm
reading.
about to go. Y'all have a good day.
Now, listen to this.
neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant,
What else?
or his maidservant,
Read.
his ox,
Uh-huh.
or his ass,
What else?
or anything that is thy neighbor's.
Anything that's your neighbor's, you shouldn't covet. What does that
Way
mean?
over there, and I never
Sir,
touched it. How did
anything
I
that's your neighbor, you don't have to touch it. That's the point. You can desire it. If you see a nice car riding down the road, and you somebody in the streets, oh man, I'm gonna hit a lick. I'm a carjack this dude. You're desiring that person's car. That's coveting his car. That's the point. Do you get it?
I want to have it.
Do you get it?
I want to hold it.
Oh my goodness. Read what you got.
The book of Matthew,
Give me
chapter
James.
5,
Give me
verse
James, the first
28.
chapter.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her,
Yeah, you don't have to touch her. You can look at a woman that's married to lust sexually in your mind. Read.
I want it, though. That's wrong with
had
it.
committed adultery with her already in his heart.
You commit adultery spiritually in your mind. That's how it works. You're guilty of that sin.
I did already.
Of course, so your thoughts can lead to sin. I'm going to read it in James, who's the Lord's brother. Give me that.
What is it?
I think it's like 12. Go ahead.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12.
13.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
This is James 1 and 13. Let no man, when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil.
Uh-huh.
Neither tempteth he any man.
Read.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
What is what?
When he is drawn away of his own lust.
Of your own desires. You don't have to touch something to desire something. Your own desires start in your mind. It's going to explain. Read.
And enticed.
Uh-huh.
Then when lust hath conceived,
When lust conceived, when you think about it, you plan it out in your head, and then you actually do the work. Read.
It bringeth forth sin.
It brings forth sin, so your thoughts are sins if you act out on them. Period. Read.
And sin, when it is finished,
Sin when it's finished, when you do it physically, read.
bringeth forth death.
It brings forth death. The wages of sin are death. You sin against the laws of God, you got to die for it. Some things you can't repent from and offer a sacrifice, and this time we don't have a temple. But obviously when James was around, the temple was still there. So there's sins that are worthy of death. There's sins that you can offer a sacrifice to for blood, in reference to that, to have a sacrifice for sin. Now we have to live our lives as a sacrifice, as Paul says in Romans. Read.
Verse 16. Do not err, my beloved brethren.
Yeah, his name is Dro, and like I said, it's self-explanatory how high he was based on his doctrine and his own personal definitions. What you got?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin.
The thought of foolishness is sin. He's going against biblical definitions. Why? Just so we can see him right, just so we can get his little pseudo information off.